Recently, Ebonite International conducted a 30-city Pro Shop seminar swing where we introduced the latest and greatest bowling balls from all 4 of our brands. In that seminar, we also took a segment to talk about bowling ball design. When designing bowling balls, there are several factors we have to take into consideration. For designing the core, we look at the RG, the differential, and the mass bias. To finalize the ball, we determine which type of cover stock we want to put on the bowling ball, and then what the finish is that we apply to it. And these factors help dictate the overall ball motion you see on the lanes. There's a couple other areas that we're looking at even deeper, and that is the inertial properties of the core and how that core is located inside the bowling ball. Before I get deeper into the bowling ball and the design, I want to talk about the phases of the ball motion. There's 3 phases. The first is the skid phase. That is where the bowling ball has not encountered enough friction to begin its hook phase. Secondly is that hook phase, and that's where the ball has encountered enough friction in order to transition from a negative slope plane to a positive slope plane going towards the pins. Then finally, it's the roll phase, and that's where the ball is traveling on a fairly constant plane towards the pins. Looking at these 3 phases deeper, the skid phase happens in the oil pattern itself, and that is dictated by the cover stock of the bowling ball, that surface of the bowling ball, and the lane condition you're bowling on. The hook phase happens just before the end of the pattern and ends just after the oil pattern, and that is determined by the core design, the mass properties of that core of the bowling ball, and the layout that's applied to the bowling ball by the Pro Shop operator. Then finally, that's the roll phase. That's the combination of the skid phase and hook phase. When we look at core development, we're looking at how does that ball react in the hook phase. So a topic we're talking about is called pin axis symmetry. What that is looking at the bowling ball in a vertical manner and determining where the majority of that mass is located in the bowling ball. So the first one we have is called pin asymmetry. That's when there's more mass located towards the pin. What this does, it creates an earlier defined motion in that hook phase. Secondly, we have mass neutral. That's when the sum of the mass is centrally located, or you can visually see that there's more mass in the center of the core. What this does is it distributes the ball's motion evenly throughout that hook phase. And finally, we have what we call pin away asymmetry. That's when there's more mass away from the pin. What this does helps the ball push through that hook phase slightly further and creates a more defined motion at the end. Looking at a few examples of cores inside our brands, this is the Columbia 300 Urge core. Looking at the mass and where it's distributed more towards the pin. Another example is the Adrenaline core from Ebonite. Some of the mass is centrally located, so majority of the mass is in the center of the core. Then our final example is our Ebonite Warrior core. There's more mass away from the pin. So to help prove out this theory, we took 3 different core designs. All have very similar RGs, differentials, and mass biases. We placed them in the exact same cover stock, the exact same finish, and the exact same color of bowling ball. And then we had them thrown down the lane and measured how they performed. As you can see here on the left, we have the raw urge. That is the blue line. In the middle is the paradox core. That is the red line. And then finally, we have the warrior core. That's the green line. Exact same cover stock, exact same finish, exact same color. The only difference is the core shape inside the bowling ball. As you can see, the raw urge core, signified by the blue line, starts its hook phase sooner and creates a smoother transition down lane. The paradox is the red line. It spreads its energy evenly throughout this hook phase and has slightly more continuation than the raw urge core. Finally, we have the warrior core. This is the green line. It pushes further through that hook phase, has much more energy retention, and makes up for that amount of hook potential at the end of the pattern. You can see all 3 of these balls end up in the same spot going through the pins. The difference is how much energy they use through the hook phase and how much reaction they have left to that roll phase. So in summation, looking at these 3 core designs, you have the raw urge core. This is a pin asymmetry. More mass located towards the top of the pin, starts sooner in that hook phase. This is the paradox core in the middle. That is mass neutral. Its energy spreads out evenly throughout that hook phase, creates a more continuous ball motion. Then you have the warrior core. More mass away from the pin. It has more energy saved through that hook phase and makes up for it at the back end of the pattern. Now let's take a look at our Columbia 300 brand. The Swerve FX, featuring Hypershock technology, is the latest addition in our Redline collection. The Redline collection is a combination of our strongest cores and cover stocks. Looking at the overall ball motion of the Swerve FX, you can see that it features a skid flip type ball motion. Its counterpart, the Swerve, offers a strong overall continuous hook. Both the swerve and the swerve effects feature our new Boulder Boss graphics. When looking at the core design of the swerve, there's more mass located away from the pin, which classifies it as a pin-away asymmetry. What this core design does, it creates more push through the hook phase and a stronger, more dominant motion at the end of the pattern. When comparing the entire Columbia 300 line, we have the raw urge core, which is pin asymmetry and starts the soonest in that hook phase. The delirium shock, its core is mass neutral, which creates a strong overall continuous motion. The swerve effects has that pin away asymmetry, which offers more of a stronger transition at the end of that hook phase. This video takes a deeper look into hypershock technology and its effects on the overall ball motion and interaction with the pins.
Bowler ID is a great tool for gathering the key statistics every bowler needs to know, and could one day change the way pro shops interact with their customers. Here at Columbia 300, we've been using an advanced version of this device to study ball motion. The data collected from this device, starting at the moment the approach begins and ending when the ball exits the deck into the pit, has led to a different way of thinking in terms of design. The first of which is hypershock technology. Simply put, pins impacted by the ball with hypershock technology experience a greater transfer of energy at impact, as well as a smoother, slower rate of energy decay than those hit by the industry standard bowling ball. An additional effect is greater continuation exhibited by the ball with less deflection as a whole. For this video, we have poured two identical Columbia 300 Swerve FX bowling balls, with one exception. The first contains the hypershock additive, evidenced by the green outer core material, and the second contains the standard filler. Both balls were fitted with Bowler ID, so let's take a look at how they perform. Notice the amount of deflection the ball without the hypershock technology has, leaving a flat 7 pin. Now notice the amount of continuation and drive that the ball with the hypershock technology has as it goes through the pins. Bowler ID data was used to verify that each shot using each of the balls was thrown the same way. Shot after shot, the results were the same. Data-driven, the hypershock-infused bowling balls tend to continue more and deliver more energy where it matters, at the pins and through the pins. Throw the new Swerve FX with hypershock technology today and feel the effects.
Now let's take a look at our Ebonite brand. Following up the success of the Warrior, we introduce you the Warrior Elite, featuring our GB 13.3 cover stock and our Warrior core. Looking at the Warrior core, there's more mass located away from the pin. This is known as pin away asymmetry. What this does is allows the core to push further through the hook phase, creating a stronger transition and more continuous motion down lane. Looking at the Ebonite brand, you notice that the Game Breaker core is more mass neutral, as well as the Adrenaline core, both creating a strong overall continuous ball motion. The Warrior core fits later in that hook phase. More mass away, creating more push through the hook phase and a stronger transition and a stronger move at the back end of the lane. Next up is track. With the launch of the Paradox, track set the new standard in ball motion for the bowling industry. The Paradox created unexplainable hook and power in the lanes, which quickly turned heads. In creating the Paradox Pearl, we have focused on maintaining the aggressiveness in the mid lane while enhancing the motion at the back end. With the launch of the Paradox Pearl, track is making the impossible possible. When looking at the core design of the Paradox, you can see that the majority of the mass is evenly distributed throughout the core. What this does is means that it's mass neutral. This core wants to naturally spread its energy evenly throughout the hook phase, creating a strong, consistent overall ball motion. When looking at all three core designs in the track brand, we have the Heat core. That is mass neutral as well. It wants to spread its energy evenly throughout the lane. The final core is our Legion core. This core is pin away asymmetry. This core wants to push further through that hook phase, making a more defined motion at the end. Bowling's toughest brand, backed by an industry-leading 3-year warranty. Nothing hits like a hammer. How can we offer this industry-leading 3-year warranty? Because we infuse carbon fiber in our products. Carbon fiber is a lightweight, durable product that's used in the automotive, aircraft, and sporting goods industry. You want to see just how tough our products are? Watch this video.
2 years ago, Hammer changed the bowling world by adding carbon fiber, one of the toughest materials on the planet, to our outer cores. Tougher balls mean a tougher warranty, so we were able to offer an industry-leading 3-year warranty on our products. Well, we're back at it again. Beginning with the Bad Intentions Hybrid, we have started adding carbon fiber to the cover stocks of our HP balls. The carbon fiber additives interlock with each other, creating a stronger bond between the cover stock and the outer core. It works much like rebar in concrete, greatly increasing the overall strength and durability. Normally, balls are drop tested at a height of 4 foot, but for the balls with the Tough Tech cover system, like the new Scandal, this isn't good enough. 11 foot or higher seems more like it. As you can see, a little scuffing even after multiple drops, but nothing would damage the ball beyond use. That's tough. But there's more. SEM photography reveals that carbon fiber additives act like studs on a snow tire, greatly increasing traction and improving overall performance when and where you need it. You're probably thinking, sounds like particle technology. Nope. With particle balls, when you sand them, the particles were oftentimes removed from the surface of the ball, and every time you sand the Tough Tech cover technology products, new strands of carbon fiber are revealed, thus ensuring you will always maintain top performance over the lifetime of the ball. Get tough, get Hammer.
The first of our new products in the Hammer line is a Dark Legend featuring the gas mask core. On our FCC rating system, the Dark Legend has a 25.75 rating. This is a combination of the core, cover, and finish strength of the bowling ball. The Dark Legend also offers a strong mid-lane and super continuous back-end motion. When looking at the core, you can see that this is a mass-neutral core. It slightly favors the pin side. This allows the Dark Legend and the gas mask core to spread its energy evenly throughout that hook phase. Saving the best for last, we have the brand new Scandal from Hammer. The Scandal features a brand new core design along with the brand new Simtex CFI solid cover stock. This core cover combination makes the Scandal the strongest hammer ball ever produced. With an FCC rating system of 27.75, the Scandal has no trouble creating a strong overall ball motion on the heaviest of oils. Looking at the core design, this is a mass neutral core that slightly favors the pin side. This puts it slightly sooner in the hook phase, creating a strong overall consistent ball motion. Looking at the core designs of the Hammer brand, we have 3 cores that are mass neutral. All 3 cores want to expend its energy evenly throughout the hook phase, creating a strong overall shape and ball motion. At Ebonite International, we are continuing to build the best brands in bowling.